So I'm going to jury duty, and I'm at the Denver Art Museum. And look at this statue. Isn't it evil? I mean, reminds me of those apocalyptic murals at DIA. I mean, this thing is scary. If I was a kid, man, I'd be scared of this. Is this art? I guess it is, you know. Art's supposed to do some type of emotion. Ooh. I don't know, I feel creepy just filming it. It's the Denver Art Museum. Isn't it beautiful, the library? There's that horse. And then Civic Center Park. And then across the way, Denver Post Building, where evil Denver Parks and Recs on the 9th floor. Criminals. So I emailed Polish yesterday to get, I tried to email Hickenlooper, but it just spun and spun. I gotta, hold on, I gotta close my backpack. So I tried to email Hickenlooper, he's my senator, and it just spun and spun, didn't go through. But it went through to get, and I clicked, I want a response. And then Polis, maybe he'll help me. You know, if they're honoring their oath to the Constitution, as soon as they read that retaliation, they should lift my suspension immediately. I mean, anytime that they delay just shows that they're with them. So I like that building beyond the courthouse. I saw them being built, and it's a really cool building. It's real pretty down here, real peaceful. So gonna hopefully speak at the Denver City Council tonight. It's just you know, this is the way the heavens work, and you know, I had jury duty today, and then they also have their City Hall, City Hall, I guess it is City Hall, Denver City and Council meeting tonight, and it's public speaking. So that's the way the heavens work. They're on my side. So we'll see if these evil people go against me. Hopefully all my angels will strike them down. I do have angels, that's for sure. You know, we all do. And I ask them for help. You know, this abuse I'm getting right now, I basically prayed for it. You know, they weren't giving me public records, and they were letting Mary attack me, not doing anything. But there was nothing really big. And then I pushed myself to start my YouTube channel. January, you know, I have disability. And going through that video and audio is so stressful. And those, horrible suspension letters. But I pushed myself through it. And started my YouTube channel in January. So I still have a lot of audio and video from, you know, May, and we'll just see. I got it. You know, I just start recording all the time. Arson told me, he said, Lisa, they will lie, and that clued me in that I needed to record everything. And that evil, despicable, dishonest, corrupt, gave himself a permanent position, $40,000 raise up to $185,000. Evil John Martinez, can't get rid of him. I told the governor, you know, you got to get rid of this guy. This is the why he retaliates against people, is because he has a permanent position. Nothing will happen to him. But you can't come after, you know, private citizens with your own vendetta. That is so corrupt. And they better do something about it. Get rid of him. And the same with that volunteer staff, Dave Lynch, when he attacked me. Nothing happened to him. You know, I thought they removed him, but later I came back and I talked to Dave, and I asked him, I said, how long did they remove you from running pickleball? He goes, oh, they never removed me, Lisa. They said when you show up, just pretend you're not doing it. So he ran it. He was there every time, and he'd be working out. Sometimes he'd play, and I thought he was removed, but he's just pretending. He's a chatterbox. I mean, he'll just talk to you about anything. And that's when Mary first attacked me. I went up to Dave. I said, hey, Dave, can I ask you a couple questions? He goes, sure, Lisa. Consensual conversation. And Mary saw me talking to Dave, and she came up and said, get away from him, Lisa. Get away from him, Lisa. Get away. And she started attacking me. You always call the trouble. Get out of here. No one wants you here, Lisa. And the thing is, she had just played with me 3 times. Usually we split up, but she's like, be my partner, be my partner. She doesn't like me, but I'm like the best pickleball player. So she wants to win, so she doesn't care that she hates my guts. So she made me partner with her like 3 times. I don't really care who I play with. I usually like to play with different people. But she's like, play with me, play with me. And even Cheryl said, you guys need to split up. Because, you know, we were beating everyone. Mary's an okay player. I'm a lot better. Her partner, Dawn, is a really good player. And she always, when Dawn and Mary are together, she always makes him play with her because no one really likes to play with her. So he always has a frown. He's really sad looking. And then when she's not there, he laughs. He has more fun. And then we get to play with him. You know, I mean, play as a partner with him. He's such a good player. Such a nice person, too. So, got my jury service. It's not criminal. I can't handle those criminal cases anymore. You know, gotta see if I can get in here. Entrance. This is public entrance over here. There's an employee entrance only. Used to be able to go in these doors, but I guess you can't anymore. So it says, oh, there it is over there. And there's people waiting in jury duty. So these entrances are closed. This is strange. And it's a very pretty city. Look at this. Peaceful. Traffic wasn't bad at all. I don't think there's a lot of people working downtown anymore. I don't know, it doesn't seem like it to me. But anyway, hopefully Polis and DeGette will step in. I was reading on Polis's website, and he said, you know, contact me if you're having problems with city or county government. And I am. And hopefully he will lift my suspension. It's unconstitutional. Hopefully they'll see that. I like Polis. I mean, I don't agree with all his policy, but he seems like a really nice person. We'll see if he's corrupt. And I went on the tour of the governor's mansion. He doesn't really live there. They said he stays there if he has some real late night events in Denver, but he lives in Boulder with his partner. And then when they have the, unless I saw him, I think he just doesn't look nice. And my friend Terry said when he was Denver City Council, he, his wife, and 2 kids knocked on his door and was trying to get support and everything. And I asked Terry, what'd you think of him? He goes, well, it's okay, but you don't, when you're at home, you just kind of like to not answer the door, So it's different if you're like at the grocery store and they're out soliciting votes, but you don't want to really be solicited at your home. That's my opinion. And so, all right. Oh, there's a cute dog. I don't see a lot of dogs down here, but there's some. So anyway, waiting for my jury duty. There's some. Looks like they might be in jury duty too. Wonder when the doors open. Got here kind of early. First I thought I had to go to the new courthouse, which is down the way, and I don't know parking down there, but then I read my summons and it's not criminal. I cannot do criminal case anymore. I was called 10 years in a row, and it was a 4-person like 3 times. And the last case was a 2-week kidnapping rape charge, and they kidnapped this tiny little girl. She's like, I think she's 18, but she's like under 5 foot. And they kidnapped her from her sister. They were at a gas station, and these guys took her. And then the sister was following them in the car, and they shot out her window. And then they raped her in that truck, and then they passed her to another truck and raped her. And then they dropped her off at her house, and they said, hey, can we go out again? And then she walked around back and memorized the license plate. And the district attorney said they do this because they think they're illegals and that they won't go to the police, but she was born here. So she went to the police, and it was the first time they tried 5 people. And the one Hispanic juror on our jury said they weren't doing anything wrong. After 2 weeks, DNA, all this information, just unbelievable. And so it was hung jury, and then they tried him again, 11-1 again. So then they tried him a 3rd time, and they got conviction. And what a waste of money. And it was weird. Like, I was working, I got paid, and then we got paid, I don't know, I think at the time it was $50 a day. But there were some people unemployed, and they got free childcare, and then they got that $50, and they didn't want it to end. We were trying to decide on the charges, and they were like, well, I'd really like to think about it. And that's after Richard, that Hispanic guy, kept saying he was going to vote not guilty on everything. I'm like, what does it matter if you want to wait and consider it? I mean, Richard's just going to vote not guilty. He voted not guilty on every single charge. There were something like 30 charges we had to go through. And it's just a travesty, And then people were saying to Richard, what if it was your daughter or your wife or your sister that this happened to? Would you feel any differently? Just, So there's not a lot of confidence in this government, in the judicial system. I guess maybe it works. Our system, it has to be unanimous, and that's better because you don't want to put innocent people in jail. Some people that are guilty actually go free, and that's better than having innocent people in jail. So that's the way our justice system is. So, wish I could get in that post building. We pay for that building, and we're not allowed to go in it. They should remove the barriers, because when you have government employees cut off from the public, that's when they are the most corruption, when you can't have eyes on them. So, all right, I'm gonna go stand with my fellow jurors, and I'll document inside. I'm pretty sure I can record in the auditorium area, but I know I can't record in the courthouse. wherever the government can record, the people can record. So, yeah, I went to District 3 and I watched a video a few years ago, must have been 5 years ago, and they had signs up, you can't record in the lobby. And those signs were down. And so I asked the guy at the front desk, I said, hey, where are those signs that you can't record? And he goes, oh, those were taken down a long time ago. And he said, wherever the government can record, the people can record. And I was like, thank you. He goes, no, thank you. I said, no, thank you. Because that's pretty good that they took those down. I think they're really trying at District 3. And hopefully they're getting enough experience. I saw, I was the third First Amendment auditor that recorded them. I've been looking for District 3 online, so I found, 2 other videos from District 3. And, Will, you didn't look good when you said it was private property, and then he asked who owns it, and you said the city and county of Denver. So, gotta learn the difference between private and public. And public's like a park. But Will wasn't afraid of, it was Chris from Denver Metro Audits. He wasn't afraid of him, gave him a card. But then that crazy detective, I should learn his name. It's online. He's like, sir, stand back. I'll put my card on the back of my truck and you can pick it up because I haven't patted you down for weapons. That guy is crazy. You don't want someone like that having a gun. That is crazy talk. But at least Will wasn't afraid of the public. So, all right, talk to you later. So, in court, in jury room. Should have recorded her talking, but forgot. I'm gonna go take pictures of this. These pictures are up here. I don't know what date this is. I don't even know where it is. Looks like it. I don't know where this is. Has to be Denver, I guess. It's hard to see. Let me see if I can see it. There's Hampton right here. Hampton. Bellevue, so this is North Monaco. Oh, there's Washington Park right there. I wonder what year this was taken. This is old. There's Washington Park. Wash Park. And then look, there's Chambers. This is all filled in now. It's empty. I wish they had the date up here. They don't. There's I-70. These all go together. They all fit together. So you have to have Civic Center Park on here. I don't know where it is though. Colorado Boulevard. So, Valley High. This is Morrison. Wow, I don't know what year this was. So, wish I would have recorded her. They got magazines. So anyway, it's jury duty.
Welcome to your Denver City Council. Please stand by. Full coverage of your Denver City Council begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us at tonight's general comment session. Tonight's session is being interpreted into Spanish. Sam or Alejandro, would you please introduce yourself and let our viewers know how to enable translation on their devices?
Of course. Thank you very much for having us. My name is Alejandro Arrieta. I am one of two interpreters today working with my colleague Sam. Before I provide instructions in Spanish, I would like to offer a friendly reminder to please speak at a comfortable pace, especially when reading off bill numbers and titles. Thank you very much. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Alejandro Arrieta, seré su intérprete de español el día de hoy junto con mi colega Sam. Si usted prefiere participar
and I just got
It's perfect, man. I mean, for the airport and everything.
First up, we have Chris Morrison, and I think she is coming in, making her way. Okay, so is there a Mr. Robinson? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Lisa Robinson, and this is on. Thank you. And where should I start?
Go ahead.
Okay. In early 2024, there were deep budget cuts to Denver Parks and Recs. The front desks were left unstaffed, and I saw empty front desks at many rec centers. On 419 at La Familia, I was attacked by Member Gaston right in front of volunteer staff table and insurance pickleball. Lynch was the only staff in the building that day. On 426, I tried to report Gaston's attack to staff at the Sandoval. Lynch tried to stop me from reporting. Then Lynch attacked me on the pickleball court. I had meetings with Lynch, Sandoval, Julie Nollis, and Pickard. The results were the meetings that I should be suspended for reporting on others' behavior. Lynch brought a pad of staff consistent from MLK to La Familia, which were papers on a bench. The papers were missing 5/17/24, so I brought them 4/24, and I got a 38-day suspension from all rec centers, all parks, and cannot view a recreational activity for bringing papers that were there months before. Jolon Cowardly Clark emailed me only one time, 6/4/24, asking if I needed help with the corrupt appeal process, and I replied, yes, I'm disabled, I do need help. Clark never emailed me again or responded to my emails. 4/31/24, I went to record in the public space. Pickard called the police and told them to arrest me for skating in a park, but the police refused. On 7/10/24, Gaston stole my iPhone and assaulted me at Hudson Lake Park. I filed a police report at District Court, but Detective Goff refused to pursue charges against Gaston, a wealthy white male. Since May 2024, I recorded audio, video, and started a YouTube channel. At Washington Park on 2/7/25, I recorded a pickleball rule change meeting, and Washington Park Supervisor Sam Levy said I made me feel uncomfortable, so he gave me a 3-month suspension. On 2/14, I went back to Washington Park to record in the public space. The police were called, but they supported me. I made 2 videos. My part 1 got no reaction. After my part 2 video premiered, I received a 1-year suspension, clearly retaliation for posting a video, which is freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to redress my government. Mayor Johnston, Floor, all crowd members have been emailed many times and will not respond to me. There's a deliberate cover-up of violence, code of conduct violations, and Denver Parks and Recs. Who will lift my 3-month suspension, my 1-year suspension for constitutionally protected activity? Will anyone in Denver City Council honor their oath to the U.S. Constitution? And I also cannot get any more public records out of Denver Parks and Recs, and the mayor refuses to give me public records.